Have you ever noticed how some men never have to chase women? Instead, women are the ones chasing them. It's not always about looks, money, or fame. It's about behaviors, mindset, and presence. Most guys spend their lives running after women, but the truth is, when you embody certain traits, you flip the game. Suddenly, she's the one texting you first. She's the one planning dates. She's the one trying to win your attention. In today's video, we're breaking down the exact things men do that make women chase after them. By the end, you'll understand how to shift from being the pursuer to being the prize. So grab a seat, because this could change the way you look at attraction forever. Section 1. The power of emotional control. Women are emotional beings, and one of the first things that makes them drawn to a man is his ability to remain composed under pressure. Think about it. When life gets stressful, most people panic, overreact, or complain. But the man who stays calm, who keeps his emotions steady, sends a powerful message. I can handle life. I can handle challenges. I can handle you. A woman may test your patience, she may push your buttons, but if you respond with calmness and clarity, she sees you as rare. Why? Because most men lose their composure. Example: imagine she cancels plans last minute. The average guy freaks out. Why'd you cancel? Don't you like me? But the high-value man simply says, no worries, we'll do it another time, and moves on. That emotional stability makes her rethink, wow, he didn't even get shaken. I need to prove myself to him. Lesson. Emotional control flips the dynamic. Instead of you seeking her approval, she starts seeking yours. Section 2. Having a purpose bigger than her. Here's something most men never realize. Women don't want to be the center of your world. They want to be part of a man's already powerful purposeful life. When a man is chasing women, he looks needy. But when a man is chasing his purpose, women feel drawn to him, because purpose is magnetic. It's leadership. It's focus. Picture this. A man obsessed with his goals, his career, his fitness, his growth. He doesn't have time to constantly check his phone. He's busy building. That energy makes women wonder, what's so important in his life? Why is he so focused? Curiosity pulls them in. When you put your mission first, women will naturally chase to become part of that journey. Lesson. Stop making women the main mission. Make them part of the reward for pursuing your mission. Section 3. Scarcity and availability. Humans chase what's scarce. Think about diamonds, rare cars, or luxury brands. They're valuable because they're not everywhere. Men who make themselves too available, answering every text instantly, dropping everything for a date, rearranging life just to please her, lose value. But when a man has boundaries, when he's selective with his time, when he's not always on call, she begins to chase. Example: she texts at midnight, "Hey, are you up?" Instead of instantly replying, "You're asleep," because you value your rest, you respond in the morning. This subtly tells her, your life doesn't revolve around me, and it triggers her to try harder to capture your attention. Lesson. When your time and attention are scarce, women see you as valuable. Section 4. Confidence without arrogance. Confidence is like oxygen in the dating world. It keeps attraction alive. But here's the catch. There's a difference between genuine confidence and arrogance. Arrogance says, I'm better than everyone. Confidence says, I'm comfortable with who I am and I don't need to prove it. Women chase men who radiate self-assurance without trying too hard. The guy who walks into a room with relaxed shoulders, steady eye contact, and a calm smile doesn't need to brag. His presence alone commands attention. Example: you're at a social gathering. Instead of bragging about your achievements, you ask interesting questions. Engage people and make others feel good. A woman sees this and thinks, he doesn't even need to prove himself. I want his validation. Lesson. True confidence attracts more than looks or money ever could. Section 5. Mystery and unpredictability. One of the most powerful ways to make women chase is by not giving them the full picture right away. Humans crave novelty and excitement, and women are no different. If you reveal everything about yourself too quickly, there's no intrigue left. But when you keep an element of mystery, when she feels like there's more to discover, she'll keep coming back. Example: instead of texting her your full life story, you drop little hints. Yeah, I've traveled to some interesting places, but that's a story for another time. This makes her curious. She'll chase for the details. Lesson. Mystery creates desire. Predictability kills it. Section 6. Leadership energy. Women are naturally drawn to leaders, not just men who talk about being leaders, but men who embody it in their daily lives. Leadership energy isn't about bossing people around, it's about direction, decisiveness, and presence. Picture this. You're out with friends, and no one can decide where to eat. Everyone's going back and forth, but you step up and say, "All right, let's go here. It's a good spot, trust me." That decisiveness makes you stand out. Women crave that energy because it signals safety and clarity. A man who knows where he's going, literally and figuratively, attracts women naturally. They don't just respect him, they chase him. Lesson. Take the lead. Even small acts of decisiveness show her you're a man worth following. Section 7. Controlled masculinity. Strength plus gentleness. Masculinity isn't about being aggressive, and it's not about being overly passive either. It's about balance, strength controlled by discipline. Imagine you're at the gym and you can clearly lift heavy weights. That's strength. But then you also know how to speak respectfully, treat people kindly, and carry yourself with discipline. That's controlled masculinity. Women chase after men who have that balance because it's rare. Too many men lean too far in one direction, either overly soft and people-pleasing or overly aggressive and controlling. The man who blends power with respect, that's the one women can't resist. Lesson. Show your strength but don't shove it in her face. Be powerful but under control. Section 8. Social proof and influence. Here's a psychological trigger. Women are attracted to men who other people respect and admire. It's called social proof. When she sees you surrounded by friends, respected by peers, or appreciated by your community, her brain naturally thinks, if others value him, he must be worth chasing. Example, you're at a party. Instead of standing in the corner, you're talking, laughing, connecting. You're not seeking validation, you're just being social. She sees how others gravitate toward you, and suddenly she wants your attention too. Lesson. Build influence, not just attraction. A man who's respected by others doesn't need to chase. Women chase him. Section 9. Playfulness and humor. Now let's talk about something that often gets overlooked. Humor. Too many men think they need to be serious, mysterious, and stoic all the time. But playfulness is powerful. Why? Because women are drawn to men who can make them laugh and feel alive. Think of the guy who lightly teases her in a fun, playful way. He's not mean, he's not over the top, but he creates an energy that makes her feel light-hearted. She associates him with joy, and that feeling becomes addictive. Remember, anyone can be serious, but not everyone can make a woman's heart race with laughter. That's what keeps her chasing. Lesson. Don't be afraid to be playful. Humor makes you unforgettable. Section 10. Physical presence and body language. Before you say a single word, your body language is already speaking for you. Shoulders back. Eye contact steady. Movements slow and deliberate. These small adjustments change everything because women pick up on subtle cues. A man who looks nervous, fidgety, or hunched over screams insecurity. But a man who walks into a room with relaxed confidence instantly draws attention. Example: you're meeting her for the first time. Instead of nervously pulling out your phone or avoiding eye contact, you hold yourself tall, look her in the eye, and greet her with calm energy. That alone makes her think, this man is different. Lesson: work on your presence before you even open your mouth. Women chase men whose energy enters the room before they do. Section 11. Not being afraid to walk away. This is huge. Most men cling. They think if they just hold on tighter, she'll stay, but the opposite is true. The men who make women chase are the ones who aren't afraid to walk away. Imagine this: she's playing games, pulling away, or testing your boundaries. Most men would beg for another chance. But you calmly stand your ground. You show her with your actions, I value myself too much to accept less than respect. That's when she realizes, I could lose him, and the chase begins. Lesson: detachment is magnetic. When you show you can walk away, you flip the dynamic entirely. Section 12. Discipline and self-mastery. Discipline is sexy. Period. Why? Because it shows you're in control, not just of your environment, but of yourself. A man who can wake up early, stick to his fitness, control his spending, or stay consistent with his goals radiates self-mastery. Picture this. Two men, one talks about goals but never follows through. The other consistently works on himself day after day. Which one will women chase? The second. Because consistency proves strength, and women admire strength that's under control. Lesson: when you master yourself, women want to be part of your world. Section 13. Emotional intelligence. While emotional control is important, emotional intelligence takes things further. It's about reading people, understanding moods, and knowing how to respond without losing your ground. Example: she comes to you frustrated about her day. The average guy either dismisses her feelings or gets overwhelmed by them. But you listen calmly, validate her experience, and respond with maturity. That emotional intelligence separates you from 90% of men. Women chase men who get them without being controlled by emotions. It creates connection, safety, and attraction. Lesson: learn to understand emotions without being ruled by them. Section 14. The art of silence. Most men talk too much. They reveal too much, explain too much, or try to impress with words. But silence is powerful. Imagine she asks you a question. So, are you seeing anyone else? Instead of nervously babbling, you pause, give a slight smile, and calmly answer. That silence builds tension and mystery, making her want to chase for more. Women often test men with silence too, but when you're comfortable in quiet moments, she feels your strength. Lesson: don't rush to fill silence. Use it as a tool. It makes you mysterious, confident, and unforgettable. Section 15. Grooming and style. Let's be real. Looks aren't everything, but presentation matters. A man who takes pride in his appearance signals self-respect. Clean haircut, well-fitted clothes, groomed beard, or clean shave. Good hygiene. Example: two men walk into a cafe. One is sloppy, unkempt, wearing wrinkled clothes. The other is clean, dressed sharp, smelling good. Who will women chase? The second, because presentation is part of attraction. Lesson: Invest in your appearance, not for women, but because it shows you value yourself. Women will value you more too. Secti. On 16. Curiosity and depth. Flat conversations kill attraction. But when you're curious, when you ask deep questions, when you show genuine interest in life and people, you stand out. Example. Instead of asking, "How's your day?" you ask, "What's something you've been thinking about lately that excites you?" That depth makes her light up. She thinks, "This man actually sees me." Curiosity creates connection, and connection makes her want to keep chasing you. Lesson. Be curious, not surface level. Depth makes you magnetic. Section 17. Ambition without desperation. Ambition is attractive. Desperation is not. Women chase men who have dreams, plans, and goals because it shows growth. But when ambition turns into desperation, when you're only focused on money, status, or chasing success to prove something, it turns them off. Example. A man who's working on his business, enjoying the process, improving daily, he's attractive. But a man who's obsessed with showing off every little success, that screams insecurity. Lesson. Chase growth, not validation. Women chase men who are ambitious but balanced. Section 18. Protectiveness without possessiveness. Here's a subtle but powerful one. Women love a man who makes them feel safe but not controlled. Example. You're walking with her at night. You naturally take the side closer to the street. You don't make a big deal out of it, but you're showing protectiveness. That small act makes her feel cared for. But if you start demanding to know where she is every minute of the day, that's not protectiveness, it's insecurity, and it kills attraction. Section 19. The power of indifference. One of the strongest magnets for women is indifference, not in a cold, rude way, but in a self-assured way. Imagine this. You like her, but you're not desperate for her. You show genuine interest, but if she disappears tomorrow, your life still goes on. That kind of indifference makes her wonder, why isn't he clinging to me like other guys? Most men overinvest emotionally, but the man who keeps living his life regardless of her attention becomes irresistible. Lesson. Care, but don't cling. Desire her, but don't depend on her. Section 20. Being unapologetically authentic. Women chase men who are authentic, men who don't put on a mask just to impress. Example. If you love reading philosophy, don't hide it. If you're into fitness, show it proudly. If you have quirky hobbies, own them. Women respect men who live authentically because it shows courage. Trying to mold yourself into what you think she wants makes you blend in. Being unapologetically you makes you stand out. Lesson. Authenticity is rare. Don't trade it for approval. Section 21. The subtle art of challenge. Here's the truth. Women love a challenge. When everything comes easy, it loses value. But when a man sets standards, when he makes her earn his time, his attention and his affection, she naturally starts to chase. Example. Instead of instantly complimenting her every time, you give genuine praise when it's deserved. Instead of always being available, you keep your commitments first. That challenge sparks desire. Lesson. Don't be difficult, be challenging. Make her earn what matters. Section 22. The storyteller effect. Stories are powerful. Women are emotional beings, and when you share stories about your life, struggles and lessons, they connect with you on a deeper level. Example. Instead of saying, "I work out," you say, "When I first started lifting, I couldn't even do 10 push-ups, but I stuck with it, and now it's part of my lifestyle." That story paints a picture. It makes her feel invested in your journey. Lesson: facts tell, stories sell. Be a storyteller, not a walking resume. Section 23. Presence in the moment. We live in a distracted world. Phones buzzing, social media notifications, endless scrolling. That's why presence is rare and it's magnetic. Example: you're on a date. Instead of checking your pH, every 5 minutes, you give her your full attention. You look her in the eye. You listen. That undivided presence makes her feel valued, and it makes you unforgettable. Lesson: put the phone down. Focus on her. Presence is power. Section 24. Living a life she wants to join. This is huge. Women don't just chase men, they chase the life men create. If your life is exciting, fulfilling, and filled with growth, she'll want to be part of it. But if your life is boring, stagnant, and purposeless, she won't. Example: you have hobbies, passions, friends, goals, and experiences. You're living fully with or without her. That kind of life makes her think, I want to be part of his world. Lesson: build a life you love. Women will chase to join it. Section 25. High standards and boundaries. Boundaries aren't walls, they're standards, and women are drawn to men who have them. Example: if she disrespects you and you calmly say, that doesn't work for me, and you mean it, she instantly sees your value. Why? Because most men allow disrespect just to keep her around. Boundaries make her respect you, and respect makes her chase. Lesson: set standards, enforce them, never compromise self-respect. Section 26. The element of surprise. Predictability kills attraction. Surprise keeps it alive. Example: instead of always going to the same restaurant, you surprise her with a picnic, a spontaneous trip, or a new experience. She never knows what's next, and that keeps her engaged. Lesson: keep her guessing, in a good way. Unpredictability sparks excitement. Section 27. Mastering detachment from outcome. This is advanced but crucial. Never tie your self-worth to whether she stays or leaves. When you detach from outcome, you become fearless. You can speak your truth, make bold moves, and set boundaries without fear of losing her. That fearlessness is intoxicating. Example: if she says, I don't know if I want a relationship, you calmly reply, that's fine, I know what I want. Instead of begging her to stay, you stand tall. That strength makes her chase harder. Lesson: detachment isn't coldness, it's freedom. Section 28. A man who inspires growth. Finally, women chase men who inspire them to grow. If she feels like she becomes a better version of herself around you, more motivated, more disciplined, more alive, she won't just chase you, she'll fight to keep you. Example: you don't nag her about fitness, but your lifestyle inspires her to eat healthier, to exercise, to grow in her own way. She chases because she sees you as a man who elevates her life. Lesson: be the man who uplifts, not the man who drains. Conclusion. Wrap up motivation. Let's bring it all together. The things that make women chase men aren't tricks or cheap tactics. They're qualities of a man who values himself, who has purpose, and who lives authentically. Emotional control, leadership, mystery, discipline, presence, standards, detachment, and most importantly, growth. When you embody these traits, you don't have to chase women. You become the prize. You flip the script, and women naturally lean in, invest, and chase after you. Remember this: attraction isn't about chasing someone else, it's about becoming someone worth chasing. So ask yourself, which of these traits will you start practicing today? because the moment you step into your power is the moment she starts running after you.